You know, have you noticed something kind of interesting on kids' activity tables lately? It feels like a classic is making this quiet little comeback, the old school step by step drawing book. So today, we're going to dive into why this super simple activity is not just surviving, but actually thriving in our crazy digital world. And the reason? Well, it's pretty fascinating.
Okay, if you're a parent, this one's gonna sound really familiar. That constant negotiation over screen time, right? The meltdowns when it's finally time to turn it off. It's like the daily battle cry that leaves absolutely everyone feeling just completely exhausted. And that really gets us to the heart of the modern screen time struggle. But look, it's important to say this isn't about being anti-tech. Not at all. It's really about this desperate search for a peaceful, engaging alternative that just, works.
So, if it's not just about banning screens, what's the actual goal here? What are parents really looking for when they're hunting for some new activity to keep their kids busy? Well, it pretty much boils down to a simple wish list. Parents want something that works without a big fight, something their child can actually do by themselves. It has to feel genuinely fun, not like homework dressed up as a game. And of course, the big one, it doesn't need to be charged.
Okay, so if that's the wish list, why do so many other activities, like those generic coloring books, just seem to fall flat? Let's take a look at why they so often just fail to connect.
This right here, this is the absolute core of the problem. The activity book has this expectation, right? Draw a horse from scratch. But for the kid, the reality is instant frustration. It's that awful sinking feeling of, ugh, I'm bad at this. And that mismatch, it just makes them want to give up immediately. So, what this tells us is that the most important factor, the thing a child really needs more than anything, is a quick win. It's that little spark of confidence that comes from being able to hold something up and say, hey, I made that. It's the secret ingredient that most activities completely, totally miss. And that brings us right to the hero of our story, this step-by-step drawing guide. So, what makes it so darn effective? Well, it's all about the magic of taking it one simple step at a time. The psychology behind this is just brilliant. You start with something so simple it's almost impossible to get wrong, like a circle or a square. Then you build on it, gently, with these tiny, manageable additions. There are no sudden, scary leaps, so the end result for a kid isn't frustration at all. It's this feeling of momentum and a genuine sense of success. And here it is. This is the magic combo that really explains why these books are so popular. From a parent's point of view, it just looks like golden, blissful quiet time. But from the child's perspective, it feels like pure success. And when you can solve both of those problems at the same time, you've got a real winner. Okay, so we totally get why parents and kids are on board. But let's switch gears for a second. What does this quiet little trend mean for all the people out there who are actually creating content? Books, printables, you name it, for families.
Well, it turns out this trend also shines a light on a really interesting, quiet opportunity for creators. Because this isn't just about a cute activity, it's a stable and, believe it or not, a surprisingly valuable niche.
This type of content really hits a sweet spot. For one, it's evergreen. I mean, kids will always be learning how to draw, so it's a super reliable market. It's also skill-based, which feels way more valuable than just a disposable coloring page. It's incredibly versatile. It works in a physical book or as a digital download. And maybe the best part of all, it doesn't rely on the latest cartoon character or some fleeting trend. But, it's not quite as simple as it looks. There is a catch. Creating these guides, especially if you're not a trained artist yourself, can actually be pretty tricky. Keeping those steps simple and perfectly consistent from one to the next, that's a real challenge. And this is where some modern creators are getting really clever by using tools like AI. But think of the AI here not as the artist, but more like a super precise assistant. The creator gives it a structured command, and the AI handles the really technical, repetitive task of generating those consistent, step-by-step images. And that frees up the creator to focus on the fun stuff, like the theme and the overall design of the book.
All right, let's zoom out for a final thought here. Why is this more than just a passing fad? What gives this simple idea such incredible staying power?
It really all just comes down to these three fundamental truths. Kids will always have that built-in desire to create and draw. Parents will always need activities that give them a few minutes of peace without having to stand over their shoulder. And good creators will always be drawn to making things that feel genuinely useful. These needs, they aren't going anywhere. And what that all means is that this is an area that doesn't really reward chasing trends or getting caught up in hype. It rewards patience, thoughtfulness, and quality. And let's be honest, those are usually the most satisfying kinds of projects to work on anyway, aren't they?
So it just leaves us with one last question to kind of chew on. In a world that is so full of digital noise and constant stimulation, what other simple, quiet joys like this one are just hiding out there in plain sight, waiting for us to rediscover them?